I'm waking up like how the hell can I get better today? I gave myself that confirmation, boy, you already great. I'm undefeated, I feel the genius inside me alive. Took a minute.
There was a Bridgeport movie put out, and you know I had to interview him because who else gonna do it? Gloves off. We don't sugarcoat, beat around the bush, and bite our tongue.
Gloves off. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I have a show called Gloves Off, and on Gloves Off, we don't sugarcoat, we don't beat around the bush or bite our tongue.
We need that.
You know what I'm saying? And my objective is not to attack anybody, expose anybody of the sort. It's basically give everybody the platform to be able to speak their truth and speak and say who they
That's
actually
real journalism, man. I mean, that's important.
All right, so with that being said, I would like to know, tell me your name and who you are and where you from.
It's the Emperor, man. Justin Royce from Bridgeport, Connecticut. I run a Royce Empire. We do a lot of different things, whether it be products, merch, movies, music, everything, man. So,
and you were born and raised in Bridgeport?
Born and raised in Bridgeport Hospital. In '93, I was living in Orland Street, right outside of PT. My family's actually from PT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so my dad from PT, my mom from PT. She moved to Trumbull.
Okay.
I still got family in PT now, and then I ended up moving to the north. When I was about like 5 or 6 years old. I stayed there until I went to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so before the movie came out, you know, I never heard of you, never seen you. I don't know if we crossed each other's path or whatever.
We got mutual family friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to see. And now, even looking through social media, I'm starting to realize, okay,
Bridgeport's small too, though. Like, so it's like, if you know anybody, I was saying the other day, I was like, if you know one person, that one person probably knows just about anybody else. You see what I'm saying? Now that I know you, we probably know everybody in the city together.
So now, once you came out with the movie and you called it Bridgeport, my phone rung like crazy.
Of course,
because everybody's like, hold up, we know who you are.
Right.
Who the hell is this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know if you was brought up in the inner city community, like meaning as the things that we've been through. So a lot of people that was basically speaking pertaining to the title of Bridgeport, they was like, is this movie really based on Bridgeport? Is it really, you know, they had a million things to say.
Right.
So after a while, I started to say, like, who the hell is this person? Like, you know, so of course I pulled up and then I seen, you know, y'all recording and stuff like that. And then I would ask questions. And of course, I've seen in that even room that we knew the same mutual people, but I realized that you did have the North End, you know what I'm saying? And I watched a lot of them grow up, you know what I mean? Because I'm older, I'm 40, you know what I'm saying? So,
don't look it, but.
So you know what I'm saying? And I was on the North End 100 years ago and moving around with everybody. So a lot of, you know, my friends is unfortunately no longer around. So this new North End generation, I don't really know, but I knew that they came from that area. So when you came out with the Bridgeport movie, a lot of people was like, damn, what happened to every other side of town? You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And then they was like, is this gonna be based on Bridgeport? And I'm like, I don't know. And so a lot of people was like, are you gonna go see it? Are you gonna go watch it? And then a part of me was like, nah, I'm not going to see that because you ain't got the north, you ain't got the west, the south, the east, you know, and
which makes sense.
Then, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, who's these people acting and stuff like that? I'm like, I don't even know who they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So then something just told me, you know, all right, go support him because one, you know what I mean, you're going off of what people tell you, you know what I'm saying? You're going off of somebody else telling you. And of course, you've been through your own trials and tribulations for Bridgeport. But, you know, go give this man an opportunity and see what you could get out of it. So when I got there, you know what I mean, I'm walking the red carpet. And of course, a lot of people know me. So a few people blitz me and ask me, you know, pertaining to me being there and stuff of that sort. And then when I got to watch the movie, I'm observing it. And at first, I started to watch it as a critiquer. You get what I'm saying? I started to watch it, you know, as an editor, a person with the camera, a person that does, you know, movies and stuff of that sort.
It's hard to turn that off.
Oh my God.
It's hard to turn it off.
So I'm looking at it, but after a while, I started to be like, you know what? Let me just try to enjoy it and see what happens. And then I started to get humor out of it, and I liked it. I liked it that it made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna tell you my favorite actor. Well, actress.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's my mom, right? Soon as I said that. Your mother.
It's everybody.
Listen, and I'm not even being funny. I'm not trying to like befriend you. Your mother she know how to act. I don't know where the hell it came from or whatever the hell.
I'm gonna tell you a story about that. I'm gonna tell you a story about that.
I would like to hear it.
So
we're jumping off of him.
All right, we're gonna hop over that real quick. So, Dead in the Day, my first movie, I had Jamal Willard there, right? I got a house in Texas that I shot it at.
Okay.
And I went down there with my girl, my son, my mom.
Yeah.
And you know, this is my first time on set. It's my first time with an actual feature film. And I'm like, yo, let's lock in, right? When you get in that mode.
Yeah.
So I'm locking in. I'm acting. My first, literally on a couch just like this. And then in the day when you see me and Jamal acting together, that's my first scene ever in a movie. Mm-hmm. My whole family that I came with, like literally right in the room behind me. So they're getting inspired because they can hear through the wall.
Okay.
My mom, before I was done with the scene, had sent an audition like, yo, if I was going to be a character in a movie, this is how I would act it. And before the even script was done for Bridgeport, she didn't even know I was writing Bridgeport. She sent it over and I was like, I could work with that. So I said, yo, mom, listen, you're in a position right now where you're gonna be a star though. Because I look at the video and I'm like, okay, you're gonna be a star, period. Yeah. I'm looking at it and I identify that. Some people have a hard time saying that. Yeah. But when you are a creator, you could just tell.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, listen, you're gonna be a star. So and I was like, are you comfortable with that? Because she's normally more reserved. She's like, all right, yeah, I'm open to it. Let's try it. So then I start writing the script and then incorporating the things that I knew that she could excel at. So as opposed, you saw the movie. As opposed to revealing her right away, you don't even see her face.
Yeah.
Before she starts talking, she just sitting there listening. So now you get in that sense of power, and then all you got to do is just listen as a director. Now I'm telling you what to do. All you got to do is listen, and then she has the natural tendency to act on top of that. It's over with. So I wrote that script knowing, like, yo, my mom's gonna be the star, and I wrote 1 and 2 together, and 2 is about her empire, a part of it too. So I already kind of factored that in because I knew how good she was. To jump back over to, if you want to jump back over to the cast about the North and stuff like that. So
let's get to that. Why did you choose the North End as your whole cast?
Yeah. So that's a great question.
I got love for the North End.
Yeah, that's a great question. Because listen, normally, my family, a lot of my family is from the West. Like they from PT. I grew up essentially on the East Side in the sense that I went to school over there, and my dad's church is literally on Washington Park.
Yeah, basically.
So all the people that I kind of grew up with from the inner city, I was balling with every single day because my dad would be at church working on stuff. I would go with him. I would go across the street with my ball, and I would meet everybody. So just about everybody in my generation either knows me directly or knows of me. The reason why people don't know me as much prior to this is because I didn't go to high school in Bridgeport.
Okay.
I went to Fairfield Prep.
Okay, yeah.
So I was, good at school and whatnot. And my parents.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. My mom was going to have me go to Central. They shipped me over to private school, all boys school, shirt and tie every single day. I did that for 4 years and I went to UConn. So by the time I came back to the city, it's like, I recognize you. I don't know if I really know you, X, Y, and Z. But then we start making more like movies and stuff like that. And people from the North, people from outside of Bridgeport, people from everywhere, I start creating with. And the people that stuck around just happened to be people that I was living next to. But don't get me wrong, like people from the Greens was going to be in Bridgeport the movie too. We just had to scrap a scene because it got too late.
Okay.
People from the Terrace, obviously. People from the East, Barnum Ave. We actually shot at Bugatti too. You seen that scene. So we kind of got every area south too. But the real situation is this, and this is what I was trying to tell people when they was asking about Bridgeport the movie. It's not a movie about Bridgeport.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
It's a movie with Bridgeport as the setting, as the location.
Okay.
The reason why I named it Bridgeport the movie is because a lot of times people who pop off from Bridgeport say F niggas. And they don't come back, they don't show no homage, they don't do nothing. They just say, oh, I'm from here now, I'm from LA now.
That's a fact.
I'm from Atlanta now, I'm from Houston now.
Yes.
When I got popping in Houston, I got money in Houston, I got connections in Houston. The first thing I did was, all right, I'm going back to the city. I'm going to make a script that I wrote, and I'm going to name it after the city. So no matter where you are in America, if you want to watch this movie, you got to type our name in first. You see what I'm saying? That's the way I viewed it.
Okay.
So it wasn't no situation where I was like, yo, and this is what I told Two-Time. I said, yo, listen, I don't even think Bridgeport right now is ready for a real depiction because it's going to hurt too many people Like this stuff is that really happened. Like you know people that passed away. You know people that really went to jail. I know people that really like are no longer here.
Yes, absolutely.
I start writing them scenes. That's gonna open some wounds, bro. Like we're not ready for that. I'm serious. Like that premiere might get shut down. To be completely honest, you walk up in and you depict the story that really happened the wrong way. Somebody gonna have an issue with it, and that issue is not gonna be a talking issue. I know where I'm from. I know what type of time people is on.
Well, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. But I want to say there's certain people in this city that social media made them to be a 2025 superstar. But when the real actual people that was active and, you know, we really didn't use social media. We really lived this life.
Right.
When we came home and outside, we just was on a mission of bringing truth because we sacrificed our life and our freedom. And like you said, some people for these things. So when
it's a real situation, like it's not fake.
Yeah. So I wanted to, when I heard the title Bridgeport, I wanted to see, like how you said, I wanted to see that side.
Yeah.
Even my losses. I'm from the South End, but I've been to every side of town in Bridgeport, and everybody will tell you, even the terrorists. And let me tell you a story about the North End. And this is a fact of truth. The North End, once upon a time in the early 90s, we used to consider the North End like their own world. Because a lot of dudes from the North End didn't really leave the North End. They had everything over there. Shopping centers, the mall.
Little Italy.
Yeah, they had everything over there. So when I got to the Building 11 basement parties back in the early 90s and stuff, I used to go into the terrace. My grandmother is when Father Panic got knocked down, she lived in the terrace.
I got family from Father Panic too.
You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know that a lot of Southside babies is from, you know, like grew up in the terrace, going out there. We never was segregated. Like I never been a segregated kid. Like I was when I got to high school. Yeah, I've been on every side of town. Like,
everybody really was like moving until I got to high school. I think 2011, 2012 was a very hot summer. Yeah. And that's when I think that tribalism started.
I was in prison at that time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why is the North and the South and them I used to be on the North.
It got hot quick. My memory may be serving me a little bit wrong, but around that area between my high school times, that tribalism started to happen. I think now it's a little bit better. Like we're moving in a better situation where like you see movement and whatnot.
Since you from the North End, you know Lex Bubble?
Yeah, I don't know Lex Bubble. I mean, his listening party, I think, is a couple days. I'll be there.
Yep. Okay.
And the thing about the North End too is like, I want people to understand, I'm not from the terrace. Like, you see what I'm saying?
The North End is just not solely the terrace.
Right. I'm not claiming the terrace. I have great friends from the terrace, and I got great friends from the North. But I'm kind of like you said, like a nomad in the sense that
you're neutral. You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. And the thing about it is Bridgeport got creators from everywhere.
Yes,
the top creators from every side of town, and just CT in general too. So you know, I feel like the thing about our generation that I like a lot is the fact that we kind of table some BS, so that we could get the work done. And I've been in situations where I'm like, yo, like I've shot like. Before Bridgeport the movie, I had full-blown scenes in the greens, like running through and all that type of stuff because, you know, people just rock with what we're doing. Yeah. I have no beef with people. I had in the greens, over on East and Barnum Ave. If you want to watch Park City Blues, if you're really from Bridgeport, watch Park City Blues. Park City Blues is something that is a little bit more about stuff that kind of really happened in Bridgeport. It's not as commercial or mainstream as Bridgeport the movie. It's a little bit more gritty. But that got like the hot spots. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna get to the hot spots. I just can't enter the market with the hot spots yet because then they're gonna shun us. So I got a plan.
Well, I don't necessarily believe that. You might have your way of strategy of going, but I have a way. You know, you see, I'm gloves off, so I go straight forward. And I believe we missing the push forward gap, like breaking barriers. I think we're in a time frame where we need to break barriers. I believe prophets and messengers come through the trials and tribulations they've been through. So you're a prophet and messenger in your own right. I'm a prophet and messenger in my own right. And obviously we do this for not only ourselves, but for people, you know, for greater than us. So we're trying to leave a legacy behind versus just represent, you know.
For sure.
So I respect that. You know what I mean? So to getting to know you these past couple of months and stuff like that, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
so
same, man.
And you're representation of Bridgeport. I'm a representation of Bridgeport. Where I'm hoping to get a few more faces together where we could be all sitting down together and we could collab on a bigger scale. And then I have a store in New Haven called BWAG Production with my brother BWAG. He does a lot of great artwork. We do fashion shows. We build stages. We do all types of different things.
That's fire.
So I want to merge Bridgeport and New Haven together, and then I want to go get Hartford and Waterbury and London.
I just came from Hartford. You know literally yesterday, I had an interview over at Hartford. Okay. Hartford been showing us super love. Connecticut is getting quote unquote smaller. Like everybody's working together. The parties, the girls from Hartford is coming down. The ballers from Hartford is coming down. Bridgeport ballers, Stanford, everybody's going up. We're getting to that perfect spot where we start to pop off and we unite, it's over with. Yeah, it's what we've been talking about for 30 years, and it's happening now. Okay. And that's the real reason why. Because here's what the real situation is. A lot of people shun away from critique or real conversation. If somebody sit here and say like, "Yo, bro, you know I'm from Bridgeport. Can you explain this?" And you, I don't gotta explain myself. You shouldn't be in that position then. Yeah. You should be able to explain yourself. You should be able to have a sit down and conversation, whether or not somebody have a different perspective. If you don't want to be in that position, don't put yourself in that position. If you watch Bridgeport the movie, you see iconic areas. If you look at the scene, you see a lawyer that actually is from Bridgeport. You see Edible Couture, which is actually in Bridgeport, which is an eedery. You see the smokestack that they talking about tearing down. That's going to be historical if they tear it down. Bridgeport the movie going to have a smokestack that's no longer there. Now you can watch that, and that's always going to be there. But you also see the dock, and you see the yachts. You see the people that's not of our complexion and our demographic, how they eat the finest foods and all the type of stuff right in our backyard, and we don't even know about it. You see that as well. You see every aspect of it when it comes to Bridgeport the movie. It's just that
I'm making me starting to like him.
Okay. Yeah, that's you sit down with me a little bit longer, but you start to understand it. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I did things I did not do. I'm not gonna say that I spent most of my time in the trenches. I'm not gonna say that I spent most of my times selling things that I didn't sell, or whatever the case may be. That facade that people pull up and try to do is tired for me. Like I don't do that. Amen. Like my perspective, I'm gonna tell you. If I say that, like, yo, be making some motion, we got some bread, I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you I got it from real estate. I'm not gonna tell you I got it from drugs. I got it from real estate. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. I understood Bitcoin early on. I cashed in, I got good, but I came home and I said, yo, it's time to put the city on, it's time to put the state on. Now listen, and I want to talk to the camera too. If you feel as though you want to depict where you're from, by all means, that's the reason why I want the spotlight here, so that you could tell your story a different way too. I mean, you can't use the title Bridgeport the movie, but you can use a different title.
Okay, definitely. And so let me ask you about your dad, because your dad starts off the movie and he's talking to you. And I told him to his face, I said, I heard that speech when the movie first started, and it literally was sending chills to me. I don't even know if that was an acting.
No, I wrote that. That was important. That was important for me. I wrote that. I wrote the entire movie. So the intro part where he's talking about mercy, and he's talking about patience, I wrote that on the plane back from Dead in the Day. And the reason why I did that and I opened it is because I have a church background. I know you and your family is too. Of course. People don't normally get that. They get the violence and all that extra stuff. Okay. Nah, you're gonna take this
that was a powerful speech.
Yeah, you're gonna take this message too. So I wrote that in the beginning so that you could get it. And then we're gonna go into the entertainment.
And also, so I'm giving you certain highlights. Your mom, that opening speech that your dad did, but I do feel like you should get into inner city more, you know. But you did make that point. Yeah. But also I believe that Bridgeport, they want in. Yeah. They want in. We some of us are still like, we respect what you did, but we offended because we want in. We want to bring it to a higher scale. We want it past Netflix. We need to leave our legacy behind. So we want into the point we will push you and carry you with us.
I said, let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
I said, let's do it.
I heard that something is in the works. So with your mom and them, like another movie that you're putting together.
I wrote Bridgeport 1 and Bridgeport 2 together. So the sequel's already like in production. Okay. The reason, let me side note real quick and answer that question about like people coming in. In production, it's hard to not be very particular about timing, location, especially when there's money involved.
Yes.
That's the reason why I was silent until Jamal got here. Okay. People didn't even really hear Bridgeport the movie. Then when media came in, you seen the mayor, you seen all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You saw how they spun that story too. But you see our whole situation, they all came in. I was quiet about it because I know how it is.
Yes.
Now you don't even come out with the movie. Now that we got that out the way, now let's talk about how we can do this. Let's talk. Let's block off these streets. Let's have a field day for the kids and record it. Trust me, all of that I know about it. I want to do it. It's just that I couldn't start with that because it would have stopped production.
Yeah, and I told them Frank Recchio pulled up, and then I was nowhere. The mayor pulls up, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, "What is this?" And then they looking at me. They like, "Oh, tell Jamal and everybody to come outside so we can interview them." And I'm like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah. So I don't want to make it seem like we didn't reach out to different media outlets because we did.
Yeah.
It's just that when you actually read the story, it wasn't about us.
It
says their initiative. It doesn't say anything about us.
Of course.
And when you was at the premiere, did you see them at the premiere?
No.
Okay. So when you did go to the premiere, you saw Bridgeport there, right?
Absolutely.
And you saw 700 plus people there, right? Yes. Okay. That's what the real situation is. It happens like that all the time. I knew it was going to happen. And that's the reason why I prepared for it. I spoke to people directly. I shook hands directly. I was in this barbershop specifically on Media Day. I did a scene here on Media Day, 9-5 trafficking. I put those clothes in the film.
Yes.
Because I understand what you guys need because I'm us.
Yes.
I'm not a person from across the street or coming in here trying to pillage. I'm us. I'm trying to big us up. So I understand what we need. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to just try my hardest when it comes to every aspect of portraying us in a good light. You don't see hypersexualization of women. You don't see super violence on our own black men and mad killing and stuff like that. Does it happen? Yes, I understand that. But I want to be able to show us in a different light, prosperity, movement, and unity. That's what my goal was with Bridgeport Movie. You know, people, they watched it, they wore their best clothes, and they had a good time. So I'm going to just keep it going.
Yeah. I even sat down and had a drink after a while. Once I calm my nerves and all the other stuff what I came in for and the attackness.
With the gloves on, took the gloves on. I respect it though, and I really appreciate that too. We need that though. That real journalism.
But I had to, the reason why I do that is because I've done walked in certain atmospheres and supported certain people, and other people don't said, "Oh, you didn't know the history of this person," and then they don't gave me history, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, you get that weird list,
and it's against what I believe in.
And the thing about it too, when you in this industry, people weird, bro. Like 100%, they be liking kids, they be doing all different kind of crazy stuff. Listen, I'm the same person. I just got to a bag early on, and I'm trying to reinvest in my community. Ain't nothing different. I can't put it no simpler than that.
And how old are you?
I turned 32 in June.
Okay, that's what's up. You're still young. And how many children do you have?
One son, and my other son's on the way.
You have a child on the way? Congratulations.
I have a son on the way. Yeah, so 2 sons.
And when you did the premiere, it was actually your son's birthday, right?
I did the premiere on my son's birthday.
Absolutely.
Yep, everybody say happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, I appreciate that from y'all too.
Definitely.
Yeah, he gonna have something to do for show and tell.
Yes. And so your father is the bishop.
Yeah.
So how, growing up with a bishop as your dad, and being from Bridgeport, and then going to Fairfield School, what kind of backlash? Give me some secrets. What kind of stuff you was going through?
I mean, everything that you could imagine, man.
People were trying to fight you and talk junk and all types of thinking you was better than.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I think that my parents did well. When I went to school, ever since a kid, they instilled in me like understanding peer pressure.
Okay.
And then they also instilled in me focusing on a goal. So regardless of what everybody had going on, or if you wanted to fight, y'all wanted to crack jokes or whatever the thing is, my personality is witty too. So if you want to joke on me, I'm gonna joke on you.
Yeah.
And then I have friends. I mean, some people don't like it, some people like it. F them.
Yeah.
But as I started to progress in school and whatnot, it was a situation where it was like, all right, I got a goal. I want to write a book. I wrote a book. I got a goal. I want to be class president. I was class president. So I got focused. I know how to focus. So by the time I got to Fairfield Prep, where there's only one black person in the class and the only one you see is you.
Yeah, for real.
And it was one of the situations where it was like, I didn't shy away from, any type of negative connotation or whatever the case may be. And then I'm not ashamed of saying like, I'm from the church, because most people are like, and that's the reason why I can sit here and say that I got all the successes that I got so far is because of my relationship with God.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm not in the church, X, Y, and Z. My whole cast and crew brought New Year's Day in at church. Watch night service. I said, bro, pull up to the church. I'm not about to sit here and try to make it seem like I'm nothing I'm not.
Yeah,
I can't.
True.
Y'all know me. Like, if you don't know me directly, you know people who know me directly.
Yeah.
So if you don't know me, I know Justin, you probably know my brother. If you don't know my brother, you know my dad.
So I was gonna say that. Do you have other siblings? You have other siblings outside of your brother you just mentioned?
No.
So it's just you and your brother?
It's just me and my brother.
Okay.
However, young boy who was doing the live,
Yep.
we grew up really close.
Okay.
Him, his brother, and his sister, Jordan, Jalen, and Janelle, we grew up extremely close. So I look at them like they're my brothers and sisters too.
Okay.
But those are my first cousins. And then, but yeah, my brother John is the only blood sibling I have.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not about to sit here and make it seem like I think a lot of times people like you. That's the reason why we need Gloves Off is because you're doing a lot of layer peeling, trying to see if this person is who they say they are.
If they genuine and sincere. Yeah.
If I came up here trying to sit in the back mean mug, you could call it out because you're a real person. You can feel that that's not real.
Yeah.
But if I'm having a real conversation about the situation, you can feel it too.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't like me because of that being the case, everybody not gonna like you. You see what I'm saying? Some people might not like me because my name is the Emperor. Like, some people might not like me because I'm black. Some people not like me because I kill them in basketball. Like, people don't like you for whatever reason. Man.
So outside of the movies and everything, I see that you do music.
Yeah.
Because your music is some of the soundtrack. Your music is on your Instagram and all that.
Yep.
So when you started music before the movies?
Believe it or not, I've been doing music, movies, acting, all this type of stuff since
a kid?
A kid. Like, in the church, you doing something. You see what I'm saying? You're either making a gospel song, you're doing praise dancing or something. So I've been doing that since a kid. I got really serious about it when I got home from college and I locked in with my friends. About 3 or 4 years ago, it was one of them situations where I started taking music serious, recorded myself. Me and my, like I said, my cousin, but he's like my brother, Jordan. We started like getting together. I made the logistics of it and whatnot.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Probably Jordan.
Your favorite rapper?
Jordan's probably my favorite rapper, if not myself.
Okay, that's what's up.
And then from there, we just start locking in. Making our stuff. I said one thing to him too when we were talking about it. It's like, yo, just be you. Be your authentic self. When you listen to my music, I'm literally giving you plays about how to buy a house. It just sounds good. When you listen to Big Business, if you really listen to Big Business, I'm telling you what I'm about, the businesses that I'm about. I'm not telling you, yo, you get out of line, my boy gonna shoot you. I'm not promoting violence. I don't want you to get shot for real. Like, I know people who really did get shot. I know what that actually looks like after the song. I know what it looks like after the movie is off. I know what it looks like after you scroll and my dad got one of the biggest churches in Bridgeport history. You know how many funerals I've been to? People that was younger than me when I was a kid, my friends is dying. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the good stuff. So when you listen to my music, you have some fun. We'll do some pain stuff too. Don't get me wrong. Like, that needs to be touched on. But we got enough other people who's really in that life that can talk about that. I'm gonna talk about something different.
Definitely.
So yeah, the music came out before the movies. I use movies as an engine to market it, and then vice versa. So
definitely, I appreciate you for coming on Gloves Off.
Yeah, man.
Sugarcoat beat around the bush about that tongue.
Gloves off, baby.
Yeah.
Gloves off.
Okay.